Hi, this is Hdmi here for v3.co.uk, and today I've got the Motorola Xoom, which is one of the first Android Honeycomb 3.0 tablets to hit the market. As you can see, it's quite a big device. It's got a 10.1 inch display and it has a resolution of 1280 by 800, and it does weigh quite a bit. It weighs 730 grams, so you want to hold it with two hands. It runs on an NVIDIA Tegra 2 1GHz dual-core processor, and it's backed up by 1 GB of RAM. Now, it comes with 32 GB of internal storage, and if we take a look around the device, we can see some of the connections. So here we have the micro SD card tray, if you can see in there, so you can put in your micro SD card, and you can also put in a SIM card in the 3G devices, so you can connect it. Now, at the moment, the micro SD card doesn't actually work because it requires an upgrade from Honeycomb, but we're expecting that to drop imminently. Now, around the device here as well, we have a micro USB connector, HDMI output, and the device is actually charged with a proprietary connection, which is quite thin. You can't actually charge it using a micro USB cable, which is a little bit frustrating, but it's the way the Motorola have designed it. Now, on the front here as well, we have a 2 megapixel front-facing camera for video calling, so you can do that through Google Talk. And on the back, we have a 5 megapixel camera with dual LED flash, and this supports HD video recording. So onto the software. As I mentioned, this has got Android Honeycomb, and for Android users, it's going to be a bit of a different experience. There's a number of redesigns. So the first one is the action bar, which is the main design. So there's no longer any of the touchscreen buttons here. Instead, we have the back, home, and the recent apps button. And what they do is they actually follow the screen around. So wherever you are, they always move around to be on the bottom here. And if we click the recent apps button, for example, it brings up the most recently used apps. So it's a form of multitasking, and then you can click there, or you can click into whatever you are using, which is great. Now, another key feature is the customization. So it's all changed now. So when you press and hold, it brings you up with this, and you can see what the widgets actually look like now, instead of just having the shortcuts. And there you have your 5 home screens, and if you want to customize something, you just drag and drop there. If I want to do another one, drag and drop, and you can get a little preview of what your home screen is going to look like. And if you want to just add shortcuts, you hit that, and that's to change wallpapers. And here we have some more shortcuts. So that's a nifty little feature, and it just makes it a bit more intuitive, quite easy to use. Now, another feature of the action bar, if we just go back, so if you click on there, it brings up a little clock. It shows your battery, your internet connection, and also any notifications will also pop up on the action bar, and then if you click on them, it will launch your full app. So for example, if you get an email, if you click on it, it will then launch the Gmail app. But here, if you click, you get more settings, really convenient. So you can change the brightness of the screen, you can quickly change the internet, you lock the screen, and you can also access all of your settings really quickly if you want. And here we have lots of settings. Now, interestingly, if we go to location and security, you can encrypt your tablet. Now, you have to do this manually, and it takes about 1 hour 15 minutes. But obviously, once you've done that, when you mount the device, it requires a PIN number, so all your data is encrypted, and you can make sure it's safe, which is a really good business feature there. Another great feature is the internet. So if I just go to the browser, it's got tabbed browsing now, so it's really nifty. It's much more closer to the desktop experience. One thing I'm not too much of a fan of is the keyboard. It's quite basic, and it's a little bit difficult to type on, especially when you're holding it with one hand, but I'm sure Google will bring out improvements. But as you can see, the browsing is pretty good. I can go here. The full versions of the site show up really well. It's loading very quickly. I've got the 16:9 ratio, so everything's where it should be, and it's screen is pretty good. It's crisp, and it's really it's got a good sensitivity there. Now, battery life wise, Motorola touts 10 hours of battery life. If you're watching video with moderate usage, you can easily get a day out the device. So I reckon you might be able to even get 20 hours out of the device. And if I just show you one of the main redesigns here of the Gmail app, so here it's got the dual panes now, so it's much more like a desktop experience. So you go to your inbox, and then when you click on something, so say I want to see who's just added me on Twitter, it brings it up there. You can see your email, and you can scroll through all your other emails. So it's much more like a desktop experience, and we expect Google to bring out more of these Honeycomb specific apps in the near future. So this device costs £479, and this is the Wi-Fi only version. If you want the 3G model, it's going to be £579, and the Zoom is exactly the same price as the iPad 2, so it's a good contender against the iPad 2. And just one more thing I can show you on there, it does support Flash video. Out of the box, you do need to download Flash 10.2 from the Android marketplace, but here we go, it supports Flash, so you wouldn't be able to play this on the iPad 2, but on the Motorola Xoom, you're going to have a much more complete internet experience, which is really great. So overall, I think this is a competitor to the iPad. It's one of the main challenges, and it's well worth having a look at.